And I even put student loans as a secured debt because trust me, if I don't pay my student loans, I'll lose my law license and my ability to practice law. So it's secured by something. That me paying that debt is secured by my ability to practice. If I don't pay, I don't practice, and if I don't practice, I'm gonna have to reach out to see if I could rent a place from one of my high speed friends on YouTube who house hacking or have a duplex or something. What's going on? I'm Marcus. You're at the channel of the Debt Free Dad, where we're following my family's financial freedom journey and we're talking and learning about finances along the way. In today's video, we're going to talk about, can you actually get paid to make a budget and keep a budget? Well, the answer in short is yes, and we're going to talk about how. Before I dive in, I'm a licensed attorney, but this is not legal advice. This is not financial advice. So that's not what you're getting here. If you do come to me with a legal problem, I'm going to listen to all of your information and everything that you tell me to be nosy, and then I'm gonna refer you to somebody who can square you away. So if you want legal or financial advice, go seek a professional in your area. And if you're in my area, that professional is definitely not me. So let's go ahead and get that out the way. All the disclaimers, so the bar association don't bother me, out the way right now. Now let's talk about all the different ways, in short, that people really make money. You have people who doing side hustles, and when you hear side hustles, hey, they get creative, and side hustles are creative. Some people pick up part-time jobs. Hey, I used to be an attorney practicing law, handling cases, driving Uber, working at a UPS, loading the back of trucks, working at a call center. Hey, and y'all may not know this, but when it comes to working at a call center, I was fired working at a call center. Working at a call center, I mean, that may have been my original calling as employment. I would put my little proper voice on and be, hey, how's it going today? I was calling on behalf of such and such, wondering if you would be interested in. I mean, I was pumping everything from credit cards to, I mean, whatever it was, I had people buying, and it was crazy because you get all these incentives, so you didn't make a much an hour, but every time you get somebody to sign up or do a balance transfer, so I was coming home with TVs and all kinds of stuff. Now, anyway, back to the story. Now, there are a lot of interesting ways that people can make money. Some people like the day trade, which I don't get involved in because most day traders don't make money. Some people like to have side hustles where they go find outside employment. Some people have side hustles where they have their own SD shop and they make goods and services and they provide those services to a consumer. Some people do surveys. Some people do mystery shopping. Some people trap. Is a lot of things that people can do to make additional income. Not that I'm condoning trapping. I'm just throwing out ways that people supplement their income. So the question is, if you got paid to keep a budget, to make a budget and keep a budget, would you actually do it? How many of y'all out there right now actually set a budget up and stick to that budget? I'm talking about tracking your expenses. As soon as you pay something, you log it. As soon as you spend something, you log it. How many people out there doing that? How many people out there have been doing that for longer than 4 years? I know I haven't. I've been doing detailed budgeting now for probably a little less than 24 months. I always had some type of a budget. It wasn't even a budget, it'll just be a sheet of paper with expenses written on it that we slap on the refrigerator, and I just will walk past it, look at it, and shake my head and not worry and not worry about it. But for about 18 months now, I've probably been doing some real in-depth budgeting, keeping track of things. And so the question is, if someone paid you to say, hey, I'm going to pay you to handle and manage your own finances, is that a job you're willing to take? If somebody said, I'll pay you $100 a month, $50 a month, $150 a month, $200 a month to manage your own finances and to make sure your budget is balanced, whatever you have coming in and whatever you have going out matches up. So it's zero. The money that's going in has a role in the mission, and it all goes to bills or savings or investment, and you track it. How many people would take a job if someone offered you money to manage your own finances? Well, there is a way you can do that. I've been doing that now for a year and a half. And for those people who tuned into the channel, y'all probably already know what it is. And for the people who not tuned into the channel, it's by using my credit card rewards. My credit card rewards pay me to keep and maintain a budget. I'll link a video in the description box or pin it in the comment. But last year we got back over $1,700 in cash back rewards just for using credit cards to make normal everyday purchases. So make a budget, stick to a budget. You use the funds to pay off the credit card in whole, And once you pay off the credit card, you get rewarded with bonus points that you can convert into cash back, which you can use to do whatever you want. Now, there are a couple of rules before you even decide to go down that aisle. Rule number one, we didn't play this game, or I think rule number one is we didn't play the credit card rewards games until we paid off all of our credit cards. There are two schools of thought as it relates to credit card use. Thought number one is the good old Dave Ramsey people who hate credit cards and never use them no matter what, like this. Then thought number two are people like me who say, you know what, I'm going to only use my credit card for expenses that I have cash to pay. I've already budgeted, and I'm going to get the cash back rewards back. Now, there's no right or wrong answer how you want to move forward, but it just depends on how you are and what your spending habits are. Now, I will tell you, to me, I think using credit cards is like fire. Fire is a great device. It can provide heat. It can provide heat to create steam to make engine move forward. Fire is great, but you can also burn down your damn house if you don't know what you're doing. Credit cards work the same way. If you know what you're doing, a credit card can be great, just like fire. But if you don't know what you're doing, you'll be homeless and your house will burn down to a rubble. That's just kind of the name of the game. So some of the rules that we followed before we even started doing this, and I wouldn't even call this credit card hacking. To me, I think credit card hacking is when you got a wallet with 65 different credit cards for 85 different things. I ain't got the time to do all that. My mind can only comprehend two or three things at once. So I like one, maybe two cards. I actually have two cards. I have an American Express Gold card, and I have a Chase Amazon Prime card that I use primarily. But rule number one is make sure that all of your unsecured debt is satisfied before you start to play this game. If you want to go down the road of, I'm going to set a budget, establish a budget, only use my credit card for things that I was going to pay for in cash and pay it off at the end of the month, make sure all of your credit card balances are absolute zero. If you're still trying to work your way out of credit card debt, the approach that we took was, let's take out and knock out our credit card debt first so we don't have to worry about it. And then once we got to a point where we had zero credit card debt, we said, you know what? Let's try this whole credit card cashback rewards things just for 1 month, for 30 days, to see how it went. I actually put a link to that video above, but that was the goal. We paid off all of our credit cards, and then we decided to try it for 1 month just to see how we liked it. So if you aren't in a position to pay off all your credit cards, I think the best thing you could do is really just keep doing what you're doing, work your debt snowball, work your debt avalanche, do whatever it is that you're doing to try to pay off those credit cards. That's point number one. Don't play with fire until you actually know how to play with fire. That's, my approach. Point number two is we also wanted to make sure that we didn't have any automobile debt. Now, I know that could be hard for some people, but for us, it made sense. We wanted to eliminate essentially all of our unsecured debt, any debt that wasn't tied to an asset. And I even put student loans as a secured debt because, trust me, if I don't pay my student loans, I'll lose my law license and my ability to practice law. So it's secured by something. That me paying that debt is secured by my ability to practice. If I don't pay, I don't practice, and if I don't practice, I'm gonna have to reach out to see if I could rent a place from one of my high speed friends on YouTube who house hacking or have a duplex or something. We took the approach of not only paying off our credit cards, but we also wanted to make sure that we didn't have any vehicle debt as well. We thought that having that clean slate would put us in the best position to be able to navigate credit cards responsibly, since really it was the first time that we were navigating credit cards responsibly. I mean, we didn't have a bunch of late payments or anything to that effect, but we would charge stuff, pay the minimum, pay the minimum, pay the minimum, because we thought we were saving money or being slick in the long run. At the end of the day, it really didn't make any sense to make a purchase for $3,000 or $4,000 and only pay $30 a month for 65,000 years. Then you'd be to pay $15,000 by the time you paid it off. It was just kind of foolish. And I think point number three is do your research on a card that is most advantageous to you. I'll tell you, me personally, I'm not a big proponent of cards that have annual fees. Some people are. I don't like a card that has an annual fee. I like a card that has no annual fee. It's just, something that I haven't matured into paying annual fees for rewards. but I like a card that has no annual fee, and I like a card that net gives me and I like a card that doesn't give me just like a 1.5% cash back on everything. I prefer a card that gives me a variety, a little bit of flexibility. I think it gives me the ability to increase the amount of rewards we get. I know that we make a lot of our purchases for household goods, for gifts, for parts for automobile repairs from Amazon. The fact that I get 5% back per purchase from Amazon is a benefit to me. Now, I'm not pumping this card. This is an affiliate. Pick whatever card you want, but I like a card that has different percentages depending on the purchase. When I use it for gas or groceries, I get back 2% and I get 1% back on everything else. Find a card that works for you. Find a card that has benefits that you're going to take advantage of. If you want to travel with your family, it may be more advantageous for you to get a card that solely focuses on travel rewards as opposed to having these cashback rewards or the ability to get gift cards and all this other silly nonsense. And the final thing I have for y'all is to find out the best way that you want to utilize your rewards. Some people just like to use their rewards to pay off the balance that's owed on their credit card. That's an option. Other people like to use their rewards solely for travel perks directly through the credit card travel agency because you can probably get more bang for your buck. And some people like to just take those rewards and invest them. I mean, honestly, I think the best thing you could do would be to take those rewards and invest them. Just think if you got back $60 a month, that's over $700 a year that you could invest, and you can just sit back and watch it grow. I mean, to have an investment account that's solely funded by your credit card company and look what it would be 20 years down the road, that would be fire to do. So evaluate your options, make the right decision best for you. So far in 2022, for total rewards, we got back $306,000 for the month of January and February. That's over $150 per month that we are getting paid to stay track on budget. So if you want to make a budget, if you can make a budget, if you can't stick to that budget, if you could pay your credit card off every month, make sure you consider, do you want to get paid by your credit card company just to do what you already were going to do, which is plan and spend money on the budget. I was editing. I was like, where the hell is the end of the video? Well, it ain't no end of the video because I didn't make it. So I had to go back and do it. That's it. That's the way that you can get paid for making a budget and sticking to a budget. As always, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all like this video. Y'all take care. Love y'all. Peace.